Well, new day, new DIY, right? I'm moving this ladder I've had forever with doilies on it. Kids and I are taking apart this entertainment center that I tell a story about in my blog post. And it's time for a living room makeover. I've been staring at this room for quite some time now, ready to be done with these shutters I created, oh my goodness, almost 15 years ago, I think. Something like that anyway. They've been around and it's time to do something different. Larissa at Prodigal Pieces here, ready to share with you another life update and DIY. I invite you to sign up for my free email newsletter so that you can stay in the know. What I mean by that is, I can share on social media and stuff, but there are people that control that social media and who gets to see it, and you don't always get all the details. So signing up for it is the best way. There's no strings attached. I don't use it for any other thing than to give you a post update and some other news that I don't normally share in my blog. All right, let's have at this. So basically, we're taking this apart. I actually got this thing for free, like I said, shared the story in my blog post, and now selling it because I reworked it, and selling it for more than I'm paying for the one that I'm going to set up here in a minute with the help of my other daughter. So happy that I'm able to transition. I've always been the mind of I can change my decor even on a tight budget, because if I can take what I have to sell and use it to purchase new, I just got to be careful in planning in what I do. Makes sense to me. Funny story is, a lady that bought this came and saw it, purchased it, and then had her husband come pick it up, and he's like, holy moly, we're moving this upstairs. How am I going to do it? Go see. Who's that? Who's that? What is it, Lila? Go see. What is that? Good girl. What is it? Good girl. Well, Lula's going to help me assemble this entertainment center. Found sort of secondhand. It's brand new. I'm not into the manufactured furniture much, but this was a nice deal, and I sold the other one, and we'll get it put together, and hopefully it does what we want. All right. Well, we've made a mess, and now we got to work. You ready, Lula? You ready? Right there. Oh, it's that color I wanted. I wasn't sure. It's kind of dark, but... Okay, so that entertainment center is set up, but not exactly maybe where I want it. I might put the TV up on the wall. I haven't decided. I liked my previous entertainment center because you could shut the doors and it's hidden, but it literally hung open most of the time. So whether or not I'll just leave it the way it is or hang it on the wall and cover it, I don't know. So that's the fun of this, the DIY. I can do this as I like. Now, what I'm going to be doing is kind of crazy for me because it's been a long time since I've seen these taken down, but taking down my pallet shutters with my antique barn hinges and the valances that I made from a bed skirt. I have a tutorial on my blog. If you ever want to create this, it's there, but it's time for these to come down and make some changes. Let's go. Well, there we go. I have the shutters down, the valances down, and we've got our boxes on the wall. So Lula is outside running rampant. I'm not sure if you can see her. She's having fun. She's got a somewhat deflated mini basketball. Anyway, back to this. Taking these down, and we'll hopefully get these other curtains up. Can't see that. There you go. And just long story short, we haven't had a neighbor in the back there for several years now, and even the people that were there before were elder and ended up in a nursing home situation. It helped take care of them, and we've had liked the privacy, but now it's been a bank-owned home. It's now been purchased and it's being renovated. So I'd like to have a little more privacy at night, be able to close these off. For years they've been open, so it wasn't an issue, but just changing things up for aesthetics, but still enjoying my barn roof tile ceiling I did by myself with a little help from my kiddos a few years ago. Have that on the blog, and other things like the fireplace and painting that, all that you can see on the blog as well. Built-ins that we built. Time to make some changes. As you can imagine, I have holes everywhere all over these walls from having the shutters up, and obviously when I stage my projects and stuff, it makes a lot of holes, so I do patching and repair. I'm going to say about annually, but you can see here in a moment, there's a line from the paint. When we have a fireplace in the room, it kind of soots the walls eventually, so I have to repaint over that as well.
Now comes the fun part. I'm going to start touching up painting, just dipping my little roller in my paint can and going over it quick. With this room having a fireplace in it, it makes it get some darker walls from time to time. Every couple of years I just go through and do this just to brighten it up.
So I come down this morning, long story short, almost 4 in the morning, 3:30, 3:45. Ivan, my British short-haired tabby, 1-year-old little guy, was throwing fits, and I thought he must have to go to the bathroom. Unfortunately, he's been having to take antibiotics because the same cat that I believe injured my other senior cat, and I had to take her to the vet, antibiotics, he also injured this cat, Ivan. And so it can give him an upset belly. So I get up and let him out. But he tore up my house. He tore up mini blinds. He tore up curtains. I did not hear him. But I noticed my towel had fallen in over my paint roller this morning. And I fixed it and reset it. And then I just now noticed these little prints that lead over to this back door where he always, when he's upset, tears down my curtain. That was on the floor. Sorry, Lula's taking a drink. Is that good, Lula? And you're dripping all over the floor. All right. Anyway, he tore down the thing I had put it up, but my goodness, he must have had to go. All right, back to painting. Painting is done. Now it's time to hang my curtain rods and my curtains. Apologize for the tip screen there on my tripod, but happy to be here, able to do this, and found a really good deal on these curtains I couldn't pass up. And for what I'm aiming for, I just want simple.
that was pretty straightforward. I have a lot of practice hanging curtains and rods, and these were simple. I wouldn't say they're super heavy duty, but they definitely will work because generally I won't be closing these. It's just maybe sometimes when, maybe want a little more privacy or block the light when I'm not feeling good laying on the couch and want to have that. But very rarely am I laying on the couch, honestly. So, but anyway, these are simple. I'm happy to have them. It's a different feel. I wanted a different thing to take care of. What I mean was less maintenance. Those shutters and the valances were kind of a pain to dust and take care of, which you can imagine. These I can take down, throw them in the wash, and I'm good to go, which I could wash the valances that I had, but then I had to iron. These I can just do differently. I can just toss them in the wash, I can just toss them in the dryer on a steam cycle and they flatten out. The other ones not so much. They still need to hang just a bit to get rid of that, but kind of crazy to do this today because yesterday my son was playing his tennis match for 4 hours in very cold conditions. We were freezing. I was shivering the last set. He actually won in 3 sets, but the 2 last sets he had to win tiebreakers, and it was exciting down to the very last shot. So there was that. So I was all feeling good and decided to just kind of jog back to the car because it was so cold. And I was jogging for a good bit, carrying my blanket and carrying another blanket. I fell really hard. I landed with this. I've got bruises you can't see. My knees are all bruised up. My other hand's bruised. Luckily, I didn't hit my head or break a wrist or anything like that, but just caught something and went down and literally got back up and kept running. I was embarrassed. I don't think I've fallen since I was a kid, but I'm glad that I didn't fall hard. It was like kind of a slow, I wasn't running hard. I was just kind of bouncy, trotting to the car just to kind of warm up. So anyway, I'm glad I can do this to get this done. I have more to share with you in a minute.
I'm definitely keeping this arched window insert that I got as a 3-piece set off the curb. It was a door, a screen door, and then this. I turned the screen door into a chalkboard that's in my dining area. I have a tutorial on that. I took the door and turned it into a full-length mirror that I've used in several places in my home, and this I just love to have here. Architectural feature and a fun piece. However, when it comes to everything else in the room, I've got this wreath I've made from my hydrangeas, have a tutorial on that. I'm showing you how I use a hook on the back of the mirror so I can hang the wreath. I'm pretty much taking everything out of the room. I just want to start over, start fresh, recalibrate, see where I want to go with it.
So I don't have a miracle makeover for you today. It's still a makeover, and it's big for me. So the point of me sharing is, again, this is what I say is a life update, right? And a lot of you have emailed saying I'm encouraging you, that you can relate, that you understand what I'm going through, though it may not necessarily be the exact same situation. What I'm doing here is kind of wiping the slate clean in my life, in my home. I'm keeping this so neutral because I have been desiring for a very long time to just minimize life. You can call it minimalist, whatever. I mean, I've gone barefoot shoe adventure, minimalist shoes, so why not my house right now? This is for me. This is for my kids to feel like that things aren't crazy. Yes, it's changing things for them, but they're liking this. They're liking that there's less fuss. Again, we deal with autism in our home, so keeping things simple is really good. Why should I create things for me to have to clean? So when you see my mantle is blank, will I put stuff back? Not sure. I'm going to let my story be told as I live it. And that's honestly what I've always done. The pieces that I've decorated with, I've created it or built it or found it or sourced it. I didn't just go to the box store and follow some magazine worthy look. I wanted to be me. And so I'm doing that again, but this time Larissa's different. I have learned very quickly that this healing process will have highs, ultimate highs, and ultimate lows. And when I say healing process, for those of you joining me,
I've been divorced a couple months. Before that, had not known that I lived with an autistic man, undiagnosed, who had decided to not proceed to understand himself and make effort with our children. For me, during time of separation, 100% God showed me why I'm on the path I've been and why I've had circumstances in my life, because I was raised by a narcissist parent. Covert Christian narcissist parent. And that has been huge. And for those of you that have been following along, I know I'm being repetitive, but sometimes, pardon me, we have people come along here that don't know the whole story. And I have all these life updates and links within one page here in the blog post. You can go back and follow what's going on if you like. But for those of you that have walked this same path, you're not alone. You weren't, if you've had a narcissist parent, you don't know what normal family's like. Your family system is corrupt, and you got to make choices for you. I'm making choices for me. I'm allowing my children to make choices for themselves, those that are old enough to. I'm doing the best I can to do right by them. We can all do what we can do. And I know without a doubt God has led me to understand this knowledge so that I can break free, so that I can learn, I can heal. I don't know. I'm learning more, but I don't know who Larissa is. I was conditioned to be supply for somebody for my entire life. I have memories, what I call revelations, like bubbles popping to the surface, my childhood on, that are making sense now. That I excused. I was a scapegoat within that. If you understand narcissism, there is roles that they assign to people. I was a scapegoat, and amongst many, the invisible child. You can be swapped roles between your siblings. I can see it all. It's just amazing to see it all coming about. Mind-blowing, painful. So that, not to dredge on that, but here I am, again, not decided what I'll be doing if I stay in this home, if I decide to sell. I've been always a proponent of getting out of debt, and I was nearly done before I had to buy out this house. So my goal is to get out of debt. I don't want to be burdened with that. I don't have any other debt than this mortgage. I've gotten rid of everything that I've had as far as debt goes, and this is it. And want to be free. I can't tell you the elation I would have to be out of that. So my goal is to get this house taken care of like I always do. I always make sure we're up to par, making repairs, and I've always been busy working on it. I've always compared it to like owning the Golden Gate Bridge, because if you know how that goes, once you start repairing it and they go to the end and they work on it and then they start right back again. That's a home. So yeah, I don't mind sharing this with you, and I hope it's encouraging you that you're not going to just snap if you're dealing with something and come out of it. It takes time, and I don't believe I'll ever be fully healed. I will be better, but I was literally raised in a certain way, and it's affecting my entire life. I have had toxic people that I have allowed to manipulate me outside of family as well. There was one person that did something this week that you will gaslight yourself when you're healing, thinking, did I really remember it right like that? This person proved to me they used somebody within their family to manipulate somebody in my children. That's not going to happen anymore. And it didn't think it was happening, honestly, initially. It's powerful stuff, guys. Having these people in your life, you just can't believe. It's mind-blowing, and I know the average person who's never experienced it will never understand. You really can't unless you've lived it. So yeah, I might be talking Chinese to an extent, but I do want you to understand that if you are dealing with something in your life, you can heal. God is right there, number one. Number two, we've got communities everywhere. There's people that have been helping me, whether they realize it or not. And I just want you to know you're not alone. And hey, who says you can't go about your house minimizing and making things easier because you want to? You don't have to worry about it. You can have no pictures on the wall. It's okay. There's reasons I don't have pictures on the wall for various reasons, mainly because I've learned through my abuse that I have painful memories associated with certain things. And so seeing pictures, I can't do photo albums. I don't like looking at them. Even of my kids. There's a different associations with that because of the marriage I was in. So whether I get over that, get through it, however you want to put it, time will tell. But I let myself be me. So here's to letting yourself be you, and I hope you've enjoyed this. And I can't encourage you enough, again, to sign up for my free email newsletter, because that's the only way to truly stay in touch, because you never know when I'll be kicked off the internet again. All right, until next time.